What if you could learn Turkish without textbooks, without grammar exercises, without forcing yourself to study? Just by doing things like drinking coffee, walking around the city, and hanging out with friends. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, it's not. And the method is simple. It's making Turkish friends. And I know you heard this advice before, but most people do this completely wrong. I taught Turkish to more than 3,000 students with our programs, and I've seen people go from barely speaking Turkish to having full conversations in just 2 months by doing this right. See, the problem is there are two huge mistakes that ruin this for everyone, and I'm almost sure that you're making at least one of them right now. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what these mistakes are, how to avoid them, and exactly where to meet the right kind of Turkish people. And by the way, if you want to be ready for real conversations when you meet someone Turkish, I made a free guide with 50 most common Turkish questions and answers that you will actually use. The link is in the description. You can download it for free, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. Okay, now to show you why this actually works, let me tell you what happened to me when I was 19 years old. So I went to Budapest, Hungary for this volunteer program called Isaac. And my English was like terrible. It was really bad. I could say, my name is John and where's bathroom? And that's it. But I was living in this hotel with like 10 people from all over the world. So I had no choice, I had to speak English to basically exist, to eat food, to go somewhere, and more importantly, not to look like an idiot. And within 1 month, my English had completely changed. And it wasn't because I studied harder. I wasn't studying anymore. I was just trying not to be the weird guy who can't talk to anyone. That's when I understood something about how our brain actually learns languages. See, when you're at home with Duolingo, your brain knows that you're safe. There's no pressure. You can quit anytime, right? It's like your brain is in a lazy mode. But when you're sitting with your Turkish friend Ayşe at a cafe in Kadıköy, and let's say she asks you something about your boyfriend or your job or whatever, suddenly your brain cares a lot. Right? It's important. Now, it's not about passing, knowing a grammar point or knowing a vocabulary. It's just about not looking stupid in front of someone you actually like. That's when your brain switches into survival mode. It starts working really hard to figure out Turkish. So I used to work as an assistant at the international office of my university. And some international students will barely speak Turkish for months. Then they will make one good Turkish friend. And 2 months later, they will come to me and have full conversations in Turkish. Now, here's the thing that makes this method actually lazy. Research shows that you need about 200 hours of speaking to reach conversational fluency in Turkish. But imagine you're having coffee with your Turkish friend twice a week for 2 hours. That means you're getting those hours without even realizing, by having fun. Or another option, you could lock yourself in your room every night, open the grammar book, force yourself to study for 50 minutes for 8 months straight. Now, which one sounds more realistic to you? Which one will you actually do? Also, when you're spending time with your friends, 3 important things happen that usually never happen in a classroom. The first thing that happens is you stop translating in your head. When your friend asks, "Ne yapıyorsun?" you don't think in English first. You just answer. Your brain starts connecting Turkish words directly to meanings. Second thing that happens is you learn what actually matters, what you actually need to communicate. You don't learn textbook sentences like "the pen is on the table." You're not going to use that. And the third thing that happens is you pick up the rhythm of the Turkish language, which is very important. You learn how people react to stuff, how they use filler words like "ya" or these are very important, and it is very hard to learn them in class. It makes you sound way more native when you're speaking Turkish. So this is why making Turkish friends is actually the laziest way to learn Turkish, but only if you do it right. Because there are some huge mistakes that completely ruin this method, and most people make them without realizing. Okay, so the first big mistake is thinking that Turkish people don't want to be friends with you. I hear this all the time from my students. They try to talk to a Turkish person in English first, then the Turkish person just answers their question, but they don't continue the conversation. conversation. So what they assume is Turkish people are cold or not interested. But here's what's actually happening. Turkish people are terrified of speaking English with you. They're so scared. Seriously. They want to talk to you. Most Turkish people think that having foreign friends is cool. They want to practice their English, they're curious about your culture and all that. But they're just convinced that their English is terrible and they think that you're gonna judge them for it. So when you walk up and say something, they answer super fast and then they leave. Not because they don't like you, because inside they're panicking like, oh god, what if they ask me something in English and I can't answer? I'm gonna look stupid. So both sides are just waiting. You think Turkish people don't want to talk to you. Turkish people think you don't want to talk to them. Everyone is just standing there being awkward. So what you have to do is you have to go first. And you have to start with Turkish. You can just say, merhaba. You can ask something simple. You don't need perfect Turkish. You just need to show that you're trying. And after that, trust me, most Turkish people will be so relieved. They will switch to, simpler Turkish for you. They will explain words. They will be patient. But you need to make the first move. Now, the second mistake, and this is gonna sound weird, but the mistake is only making Turkish friends who speak English well. Okay, let me explain. You can literally live with Turkish people and still not learn any Turkish. I'm serious. I know foreigners who have Turkish partners. They've been together for 3-4 years. They spend every day together, but their Turkish is still not good. And the reason is they speak English the whole time. And look, same thing happens with the expat meetups. I know everyone goes to these expat meetups to network, to make new friends, but you go to these events, you meet Turkish people there, but those Turkish people all speak perfect English. That's literally why they are at the expat event. So you make Turkish friends, yes, but everyone speaks English and your Turkish never gets better. Now, I'm not saying don't make any friends who speak English. That's not what I mean, but you also need to meet Turkish people who don't speak English well. And yes, it's gonna be uncomfortable. You're gonna say dumb stuff, they're gonna say dumb stuff, but that's actually how you improve, right? If you go through that uncomfortable phase, you're going to improve your Turkish a lot. Now, if you want a complete step-by-step system for actually having these conversations without freezing up or without translating in your head, that's exactly what we walk you through in our Turkish master courses. You will learn how to build Turkish sentences naturally and understand fast native speakers. Here's the thing though, because we give one-on-one support and feedback to all of our students, we can only take a limited number of students at a time. So spots aren't always available, but I will put the link in the description for you. If there's space, you can join. But even if the spots are full right now, what I'm about to show you in the next section is still gonna make a huge difference. I'm gonna show you exactly where to meet these people. Turkish people who don't speak English, so you're basically forced to use your Turkish. If you're living in Turkey, of course it is way easier. Turkish people are everywhere. I will give you some options. And don't worry, even if you're living abroad, I have some options for you as well. Okay, first, workshops and classes. It can be pottery, calligraphy, cooking. Turkish people love these workshops, okay? And when you're sitting there, with Turkish people making stuff together, you kind of have to talk, right? It's not forced. It's not like, okay, let me practice Turkish with you. You're just making stuff and chatting. If you're into sports, you can join a gym. You can go to, group fitness classes like Pilates or yoga. Or if you're into team sports, there's always pickup football or basketball happening. And you can find these groups on Facebook. For example, running clubs are huge right now. There's Adidas Running Club, Nike Running Club. I think they're in Istanbul, Ankara, Izmir. I'm not sure, but I think you need to register. I think it's free. You need to check it on their website. And you don't just run there. You go there early, you meet with people, you talk, and then even after the run, you have conversations with people. So you make real connections. Now, if you're working all the time and you're like, I don't have any time for these things, then there are co-working spaces. There's Collective House, there's Urban Station. I'm sure you can find a lot of these, but these aren't just for working. People hang out there are events, you meet entrepreneurs and other Turkish people. Oh, and if you're single and looking for someone, just use Tinder. I'm serious. You'll match with Turkish people, you'll go on dates, you'll practice your Turkish, maybe you'll marry that person one day, hopefully, who knows. Some of my students learn Turkish way faster once they start dating someone Turkish. I mean, my wife did the same, right? Hopefully she didn't marry me to learn Turkish. But if you're not single, there's Bumble BFF. I think it stands for best friends or something like that. It's the same concept, but it's for making friends, not for dating. Now, here's the one that not many people know about. Volunteer work. You can find Turkish charities or NGOs like Çorbada, Tuzun Olsun, LÖSEV, Tema Vakfı. You can help them out. They usually have these volunteer events that you can join for free, and you can meet a lot of Turkish people there. And it's the perfect way to, talk with Turkish people, make new friends, because you're not there just sitting trying to talk. You know how you go to these language meetups and you're just there to talk, everyone knows you're there to practice. These events are different. They're more natural, I will say. So you can join them as well. Okay, so that's if you're in Turkey. But what if you're not? What if you're abroad? You need to find Turkish diaspora groups. Every major city has them. You just need to check Facebook groups. You can search for Turks in, then you can write your city name, for example, Turks in London. Londra'da Türkler. You can write it in Turkish as well. And there are a lot of meetup events that these groups organize. You can join these very easily. Now, there are some options if you want to make friends online, but online is a bit trickier because most Turkish people you meet online will probably speak English, but there are some options. For example, Reddit has a lot of servers where you can find, so many Turkish people. And you can join the servers where there are Turkish people speaking English and they're talking about political events or other things, but there are also Turkish servers only for Turkish people, right? You can join them as well. I know that Discord has servers for learning Turkish. You can meet young Turkish people. You can ask them to help you. It's a good way to practice as well. You can also play online games and join Turkish servers. And if you're into gaming, this actually works, You're playing together, you're chatting on voice. They will probably teach you a lot of slang words as well, but at the end you practice some Turkish, right? You can even use social media to do this. You can use Instagram or TikTok. You can just comment on a Turkish creator's content. You can DM them to ask something. Some people actually make friends this way. So as you can see, there are a lot of ways to make Turkish friends. And the only thing that stops you is you. So here's what I want you to do today. Right after watching this video, pick one thing from all the different ways that I just told you and do that. Send a message to someone, join a Facebook group, join an art workshop, whatever you want. But do something about this. Because honestly, you can watch 100 YouTube videos about learning Turkish, but nothing is going to help you as much as making Turkish friends and speaking with them. But before you go, make sure you grab that free conversation starter pack I mentioned earlier. It has 50 most common questions and answers in Turkish, and it's going to make your first conversations way easier. The link is in the description. And we actually made a video with those 50 most common questions and their answers. I'm asking some questions to our teacher, Jülde, and she answers in Turkish. I'm sure it's going to help you. You can watch that by clicking here or here. Görüşürüz.